So I think our biggest accomplishment that I think we've managed to deliver along with a whole series of partners is the momentum that we are seeing behind carbon pricing. With the launch of the Carbon Pricing Leadership Coalition on Monday, followed by the Heads of State event, well, the biggest thing there was that there is momentum at the highest political levels behind it. The question, of course, is translating this into action and ultimately ultimately achieving the goal that we all are sort of committed behind. So, so in addition to, while this gives us the political momentum, we also launched a new facility on Monday called the Transformative Carbon Asset Facility, a $500 million initiative launched by the Norwegian Prime Minister in cooperation with Sweden, Switzerland and Germany as well. And that actually puts teeth into this whole carbon pricing thing, because you can talk about carbon pricing, but then you have to help countries actually do the carbon pricing. What are the building blocks? How are they going to price carbon? Is it market-based mechanisms? Is it performance standards? Is it fiscal policies? And once they do that, how do you actually measure the impact and the result? Final goal, greenhouse gas emission reduction. So can we actually create methodologies that help countries look at this in a way that can capture the result that can be monetized? And that's what that facility is about. Helping countries create and then pay them for what you would call the next generation of carbon credits. Some people have called them climate credits, but that's what it is.
And over the past week, have those messages been coming through at the COP21, whether it's from the private sector? We've had the world leaders on the first day. And what is your general take on how the COP's going so far with respect to those issues?
So I think one of the big differences from the few COPs that I have attended in the recent past is the tremendous momentum and energy that we are seeing with several other categories of actors: private sector at large, investors, businesses, banks. And while carbon pricing is a consistent theme, the investors have asked for it, business is actually using it. There are 1,000 businesses signed up, 300 on record for actually having used internal carbon pricing. But more importantly, it's the opportunity. I think people are rallying behind this $1 trillion opportunity. There is the need for it, but we were in fact having a debate a couple of days ago on when does all finance become climate finance. So to reach that stage of discussion, it may not happen for another 10 years or perhaps 20, depending on which side of the debate you're on. But that is huge amount of energy around this COP. And whatever comes out of it, ultimately, I think has to speak to economic transformation as much as it speaks to emission reductions and all the other issues at stake.
And you're confident that the Paris Agreement we see at the end of next week is going to set that in motion?
I wish all the negotiators well. It's not something we are directly engaged in, but yes, we do hope that the fundamentals of this agreement becoming the basis for economic transformation to the countries have already indicated their desire, their early blueprints, their business plans, if you will, through the INDCs. This agreement ultimately, hopefully, will provide this framework on which this can be built and advanced. So whether it's carbon, it doesn't have to set out the rules, but as long as it provides the framework for carbon pricing, for markets, if that is what it is, and all the other places to connect to, is what I think we look for in this one. So I'm very hopeful that this will actually work out, that after all these years of very much hard work from a lot of different sectors and of society, and obviously all the economic actors converging around it.
Okay. Thanks very much.